All right, guys. So as a seven-figure YouTube business owner, here are the top 5 business owner mistakes that I see people making over and over again on YouTube. Because a lot of business owners are seeing that YouTube is a great place to get clients, obviously. Also, a great place to basically educate people about your products and services. And these are the mistakes that I see people making over and over again on YouTube. Mistake number 1 is spending too much time on stuff that doesn't matter. And this is not just YouTube, this is really just business in general and just life in general, is spending too much time on stuff that doesn't actually move the needle. So I see a lot of people spend years, literally years, choosing their niche, for instance, right? I see a lot of people that will spend, I remember I saw one client that I worked with, a business owner, who edited words around his fingers. So he went to After Effects and did like Adobe editing so that the words would like go through his fingers. And that took him like hours to do. And I mean, hey, if you want to do that for fun, that's cool. But if you're doing it, because you think that that's going to make you go viral or something, it's just, that makes basically zero difference. Okay. So doing stuff like that, super fancy edits, if you want to do it because you like doing it or because you're creative or whatever, then by all means, if that makes you happy, that's great. But if you're doing it because you think it's effective, then you're just wrong, okay? Because it's not effective. So just spending too much time on stuff that absolutely doesn't matter, stuff that does not move the needle at all, this is the number 1 mistake that I see people make. Some other things that I see people doing is basically making videos about stuff that they don't even care about, because they think it's going to get views, when in reality, it's not going to bring in any actual clients. So that's another thing I see people do is they'll kind of make videos on stuff that because they're chasing views, and in reality, like it won't bring in any clients. I'll just give you an example. There's one client I worked with who's in the cybersecurity niche. He teaches people how to get into cybersecurity, and he started making videos on common kind of like scams and stuff online. And it really doesn't have anything to do with cybersecurity. It's not going to attract people that are interested in getting into cybersecurity. Even though these videos actually did get a lot of views, it doesn't actually attract anyone that's interested in actually getting into cybersecurity, right? So spending too much time on stuff that doesn't matter. Pareto principle, guys, 80-20 principle. 20% of the stuff gets 80% of the results. Only spend your time on the 20% that actually gets the results. And honestly, it's probably less than 20%. It's more like 5% of the stuff gets 95% of the results realistically. So just figure out what that is and then just do that over and over again. A very wise man once said that if you figure out how to make $1,000 in an hour as a business owner, just do that thing for 18 hours a day or 12 hours a day, maybe, right? Maybe not 18 hours, but just do that thing over and over again. And that's going to result in a lot of, good things happening in your business. And it's the same thing with videos. If you figure out how to make 1 hour of your time translate into 100,000 views, then do that thing over and over again, right? A lot of people are like, oh, well, I already made that video. Look at some of the biggest channels in the world. They basically make the same video over and over again with slight variations, right? So that's the biggest mistake, spending too much time on stuff that doesn't matter. Mistake number 2, and I guess this is even more common than mistake number 1 in some ways, and that is not uploading. So I see a lot of people, again, they'll spend months and months trying to figure out what niche they're supposed to be in or what niche they want to pick, and they're just not uploading. I remember when I first started on YouTube, I had a buddy who started on YouTube at the same time. We were basically accountability partners, and we were both really excited. We got on, got on a call with each other. We were both really excited, and we were like, let's start making content. Now, my buddy, he spent 3 months making his first video, and in that same amount of time, I had made at least 1 video per week, which means I had around 12 videos out before he even had his first video out. And by that same time, even though his first video was significantly better than my first video because he spent 3 months on it, even though that was the case, by the time my 12th video came out, even though I barely spent any time on it, I probably only spent maybe like 5 to 10 hours on it, something like that. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. It was still significantly better than his first video, simply because I put in the reps, right? And at the end of the day, that's what you have to do. You have to start somewhere. And nobody starts off as a Mozart or a Bach the first time they try to play piano, right? So you literally have to start, right? You have to start somewhere. It's like, it doesn't matter how talented you are. Like, even if you're the most naturally talented pianist in all of human history, the first time you play, you're still gonna suck, okay? So just start making videos. You have to start making videos. You have to start uploading them as well. And if you don't start doing it, and the longer you delay, like, nothing's gonna happen, obviously, right? Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing is gonna move forward. And the thing is every single video you upload is like a little soldier whose only job is to go out and get you views and eventually get you business and make you money, right? So you need to be uploading those videos as fast as possible. Each one of them is kind of like a piece of internet real estate. Like, you bought like a little house. You spent your time and you bought like a little house, and they're just gonna keep getting you views for years and years. And so you really need to start making videos as fast as possible, okay? And the first one's gonna suck, the second one's gonna suck, maybe the first 10, maybe the first 30 are gonna suck. I'd say on average for my clients, it takes about 30 videos before they get one to pop off. For me, it took around, I think, less than 10 videos before mine popped off. Now, to be fair, the funny thing is sometimes it'll end up being one of your first like 5 videos that pops off, but it'll be, 10, 20, 30 videos in, and then one of the first 5 ones will be the one that actually takes off. But when you upload those other ones, you get more people watching your content, and then they kind of flow through your videos, they watch all your videos, and then one of them might actually take off, right? And so not uploading, guys. You have to upload, even if it's the most basic content, like uploading even a Loom video or a freaking cell phone video. If that's all you got, then just pull, like, literally, one thing I tell my clients is like, literally just take out a cell phone right now, record a video introducing yourself and talking about what you want the channel to be about, and upload it to YouTube. That's what I tell my clients. Just get over it. Get over the first video thing. Get over your fear of uploading, just do it right now. And by the way, you will love having that video later on when you tell your story about how you started your channel. You're gonna love having that video, okay? So not uploading, guys, a very, very common problem. I know it's obvious, but extremely common problem. I mean, YouTube is the most popular career path. They did a survey with Gen Z. YouTube is the #1 most popular career path that Gen Z wants to go down. So they all wanna be YouTubers. More popular than doctor, more popular than lawyer, sports star, pop star, actor, etc. YouTube was #1. So there's a lot of people out there that want to be YouTubers, including business owners for very valid reasons, and yet they're not doing it. So what mistake are they making? They're not uploading, right? They're making the #1 mistake. I'd say this one is actually #1 over the other one, right? #3 mistake. Very similar to #2, not uploading consistently. So some people will upload, but they only do it like once a month or once every 2 months or once every 3 months. And let me just use the analogy here of baseball players. So I don't know the exact stats of baseball players, but I believe the best baseball player ever hit the ball about 30% of the time. I think it might have been a little bit higher than that. And then below average baseball players hit the ball about 20% of the time. So let's say you're a terrible baseball player. You're just not even good enough to make it to the big leagues or anything. You only hit the ball 10% of the time. If you upload 30 videos as a terrible baseball player who only has a 10% success rate, right? If you swing the ball 30 times, or swing the bat 30 times, and or upload 30 videos with a 10% success rate, versus the greatest baseball player of all time swinging only once or only swinging twice, which one do you think is going to have the higher chances of success? The person who is uploading 30 videos, even though their videos are awful and they only have a 10% chance of success, that person is going to have a much higher chance of having one of the videos take off, because the most important thing when it comes to videos is the idea. If you find an idea that resonates with your audience, the quality of the video doesn't really matter all that much, right? And so you need to find these ideas that actually resonate with your audience. That's the most important thing. Sharing ideas in video format is the most important thing you can do. That's a good analogy, the baseball player analogy. The difference between baseball, by the way, and uploading videos on YouTube is, in baseball, you have a finite number of swings that you can take per game, right? You can only swing so often. So those percentages really do matter in baseball a lot. But on YouTube, there's nothing stopping you from uploading a video a day. There's literally nothing stopping you. Like, YouTube's not going to tell you, oh, no, you're not allowed to upload a video a day, right? At least not right now. And so you can literally do a video a day if you want. And I do that quite often. You know, I've done it with my main channel probably about 4 or 5 times now. I've done 30-day challenges, something I highly recommend a lot of people do just to get over this perfectionism, which caused them to not upload consistently. I highly recommend 30-day challenges. And you'll be incredibly surprised, by the way, at the videos that end up taking off. I've had videos where I've put hundreds of hours of work into them and they fall flat. And then I've had other videos where I put about, an hour worth of work into them and they absolutely take off and get millions of views, okay? And you're not gonna understand that until you upload consistently and you take swings, okay? Do a 30-day challenge, right? Just to get over your perfectionism. Number 4, I wanna talk about the wrong ideas, right? Because this is the next biggest mistake that people make is they do upload consistently. They're not wasting time on things that don't matter, but unfortunately they're making videos on the wrong ideas. So I kind of already touched on this for a moment. The idea is the number one thing that will make or break your video, right? If you are talking about an idea that's time has come, then even if your video isn't that good, even if you have pretty mediocre quality, and your video just kind of sucks, your video is still going to take off. And I've seen this over and over again. There's a million different examples I've gone over on my channel of just super basic quality, super basic videos. Sometimes it's even just like Loom videos or iPhone videos. There's people that have gotten to over 1 million subscribers just recording on their iPhone because they're talking about the right ideas. So the way that you find the right ideas, I'm not going to go over it in this video, but it's called the icon method. I've made other videos about it. Maybe I'll have them pop up here or something like that. You can check out exactly how to do the icon method. But it is pretty much a foolproof way of making sure that the ideas that you talk about you're giving yourself a massive advantage because it's an idea where there's a massive amount of supply for the idea and there's very, very little demand, right? So if you try to sell Michelin 5-star food to people who are walking out of a buffet, you're not gonna sell much food because they're full, right? And plus, they just walked out of a buffet, so they just ate a lot, right? However, if you try to sell super mediocre hot dogs to a crowd of starving people, like people just, college students walking out of a bar, this is literally what one of my friends did in college, and he made a full-time income from this. You're gonna sell out almost every time because these college students are getting out of the bar, they're hungry, and they want some hot dogs, okay? So if you sell hot dogs, super mediocre hot dogs to a crowd of starving people, you're gonna sell out. And if you try to sell the best food in the world to people who don't need it, then you're not gonna sell anything because people, they're full, their stomachs are full, they can't eat any more food, right? So it's all about supply and demand at the end of the day. Make content where the supply, there's not a lot of supply and there's a massive amount of demand. All right, next one, number 5, not following a proven process. So if you're doing the first 4 right, and you're not getting results, probably the reason you're not getting results is because you don't have a proven process to consistently make good content that gives value, right? That actually gives value to people. Honestly, just following the first 4, you're probably gonna get success just doing that. Even if you're only somewhat consistent, like once a week, eventually you will get success doing that. But the only reason you wouldn't be is if you're not following a proven process. And this is the part where you're just gonna save yourself a massive amount of time, effort, and money if you just stand on the shoulder of giants and learn from people who have already figured out how to do the thing that you want to do. So basically, if you want to learn how to play piano, if you just tried to learn that from scratch without any advice or any instruction from people who are actually good at it, it's going to be pretty rough for a long time. Same thing if you want to learn how to play basketball or you want to learn how to get good at anything. It's going to be pretty rough. You are not going to make much progress at all. With that being said, it's still better to do it than to not do it, right? But you should be following a proven process. You should be paying attention to people who already know what to do. It's been proven that they know exactly how, for instance, how YouTube works. That's what I teach people. And that's just going to save you a massive amount of time. Why reinvent the wheel? You're trying to invent a new wheel and it's shaped like a triangle. It's probably not going to work out very well for you. So why reinvent the wheel? Just take the wheel that already exists and then maybe make a few changes to it, right? Make it your own. and then just install it on your car. Follow a proven process from people that have actually done it. Do not try to reinvent the wheel. Do not try to be the first person to ever do something. There's a really good book called Steal Like an Artist. I highly recommend this book, and it's kind of just like stealing a little bit from a bunch of different people that have been proven to work, right? Like people that are good at what they do, just stealing a little bit from like a bunch of different people like that, right? And yeah, I highly recommend that book, and I highly recommend following a proven process, right? So if you are interested in seeing how I got my channel to 100K per month, check out this video right here. I guess I'll put it like right around here. Check that out. And also, if you want some free resources, I'll put them down in the description in the pinned comment below that teach you how to grow and make money on YouTube. I've helped, I think, somewhere around over 15 people get to 7 figures a year, and over 5 people get to 8 figures a year at this point on YouTube, all business owners. Some of the people actually weren't business owners before they start, but I taught them how to be a business owner. And yeah, check that out. And also, if you're ready to jump in, if you want a done for you or done with you solution on how to grow and make money on YouTube, then book a call with me down in the description and the pinned comment below. I give all the sauce away on this channel. I give all the information away for free. I don't sell information, but if you want a done for you solution or a done with you solution that saves you a bunch of time, effort, and money, book a call, check it out, and I'll see you next time.